This is T1000 Universal Tester, also called T1000 Primary Injection Test Set. Look at the panel. There are AC current output ports. It has two groups. The first group is the two big ports, a red port and a black port. They can output current from 50 amperes to 1000 amperes. The second group is the two small ports, also a red port and a black port. They can output current from 2 amperes to 50 amperes. There are DC voltage output ports. They can output voltage from 10 volts to 300 volts. There are AC voltage output ports. They can output voltage from 10 volts to 250 volts. There are two meters. This one is voltmeter, from 0 volt to 600 volts can be input, both AC and DC is okay. This one is ammeter, from 0 ampere to 6 amperes can be input. If we use an external current transformer, AC current from 0 ampere to 2000 amperes can be measured. There are two blue ports for binary output. One group. There are 4 white ports for binary input, totally 2 groups. There are auxiliary DC voltage output ports. The range is from 20 volts to 240 volts. There is a red press button for switching auxiliary DC voltage output is on or off. There are CT polarity test wiring ports. Now we have a CT polarity test. The S1 port connects to CT secondary side S1, the S2 port connects to CT secondary side S2. The primary cable goes through CT, the cable and face CT P1 insert to the P1 port, the cable and face CT P2 insert to the P2 port. Press red button, the green indicator light means positive polarity. Swap S1 and S2. The red indicator light means negative polarity. There is operation interface. There are 4 indicators: run indicator, overheat indicator, overload indicator and open circuit indicator. There is a USB port, it is used for reading test report. The 8 keys are operation key, F1, menu selection, run button, F2, F3, stop button, course find button and rotary knob. They work together for parameter setting. This is power supply connection socket. This is power on-off switch. This is grounding port, it should be reliable connected with earth. This is emergency stop button, if emergency case happens during test, press it quickly. Let's look at the operation interface. There are 8 modules on the main interface: any test, auxiliary DC, relay test, report view, CT test, system setting, timer, and PC control. First, system setting introduction. Time can be represented by second or cycles. Voltage is the secondary rated voltage. Frequency is the rated frequency. Off delay means when the tester receives a trip or reclose signal from the relay undertest, the tester will generate the voltage and current continually, until the delay time end. Data and time setting is here. Second, auxiliary DC voltage output introduction. Here we output DC 220 volts. Press course find button. Rotate the knob to 220 volts. Press run button. Press on button to output. Look at the meter. The auxiliary DC voltage is output 220 volts now. Press off button to stop output. Then press stop button. If user's relay needs DC power supply, user can connect to the 2 ports. Third, any test introduction. There are 3 test items: manual and meter, shot, and linear ramp. First test item, manual and meter. Here we can select 4 channels: AC voltage output, DC voltage output, I1 current output from 2 amperes to 50 amperes, I1 current output from 50 amperes to 1000 amperes. This voltmeter's input port is here. This ammeter's input port is here. The ohm here is used for winding resistance testing. Here we choose AC voltage output, output 50 volts. Use the voltmeter itself to measure the output voltage. Press Run button, the Run indicator blinks green, the AC output indicator turns red, the voltmeter here shows 49.93 volts, that's right. We connect the thick cable for 1000 amperes output. We short circuit the output current. There is the current transformer. Secondary output terminal K1 and K2 is the 2000 to 1 ratio. We choose I1 current output from 50 amperes to 1000 amperes. Press Run button, T1000 starts to output 1000 amperes. The current transformer ratio is 2000 to 1, so the secondary current is 0.499 ampere. Shot. Here we can select 4 channels, AC I1 current output from 50 amperes to 1000 amperes. AC I1 current output from 2 amperes to 50 amperes. AC voltage output. DC voltage output. The logic is output value continues duration time. Here we choose AC voltage output 50 volts, duration time is 10 seconds. Press Run button, look at the meter. 50 volts outputs continually for 10 seconds, then it automatically ended. Third test item, linear ramp. Linear ramp means from start value increase to pickup value, continue to decrease to drop off value step by step automatically. The source can be AC I1 current output from 50 amperes to 1000 amperes, AC I1 current output from 2 amperes to 50 amperes, AC voltage output, DC voltage output. Here we choose another channel AC current output, start from 2 amperes, to 5 amperes, step is 0.1 ampere, step time is 1 second. Then short circuit the binary input A, we get the pickup value, open the binary input A, we get the drop-off value and ratio. Press F3 key as save the report. Fourth, relay test introduction. Enter the relay test module from main interface, there are 4 test items, pickup, trip time plus pulse length, and advanced. First, pickup value test. Here we can select the channels, AC I1 current output, AC voltage output, DC voltage output. We select AC I1 current output. In this interface, we can select 2 ranges, one is from 2 amperes to 50 amperes, the second is from 50 amperes to 1000 amperes. Here we choose 2 amperes to 50 amperes. We set the output current 2 amperes. Press Run button. Rotate the knob. The current output is 3 amperes, 4 amperes, 5 amperes. We short circuit the binary input. The pickup value comes. We rotate the knob in opposite direction, 4 amperes. We open the binary input. The drop-off value and ratio value come. Press F3 to save the report. We set the output voltage AC 57.74 volts. Press Run button. Rotate the knob. The voltage output is 58.74 volts, 59.74 volts. We short circuit the binary input. The pickup value comes. We rotate the knob in opposite direction, 58.74 volts. We open the binary input. The drop-off value and ratio value come. We set the output voltage DC 57.74 volts. Press Run button. Rotate the knob. The voltage output is 58.74 volts, 59.74 volts. We short circuit the binary input. The pickup value comes. We rotate the knob in opposite direction, 58.74 volts. We open the binary input. The drop-off value and ratio value come. In the trip time interface, we can select ACI1 current output, AC voltage output, DC voltage output. Here we select ACI1 current output. In this interface, we can select two ranges, one is from 2 amperes to 50 amperes, the second is from 50 amperes to 1000 amperes. Here we choose 2 amperes to 50 amperes. We set the test current output is 2 amperes. We set the test current 2 amperes. Press Run button. Press Enter button. We short circuit the binary input. The trip time comes. We set the test voltage AC 57.74 volts. Press Run button. Press Enter button. We short circuit the binary input. The trip time comes. We set the test voltage DC 57.74 volts. Press Run button. Press Enter button. We short circuit the binary input. The trip time comes. Trip time plus pulse length test. Here we can select the channels, ACI1 current output, AC voltage output, DC voltage output. We select ACI1 current output. In this interface, we also can select two ranges, one is from 2 amperes to 50 amperes, the second is from 50 amperes to 1000 amperes. Here we choose 2 amperes to 50 amperes. The offset value is 0 ampere, we set test current 2 amperes. Press Run button. Press Enter button. We short circuit and open the binary input. The time value and pulse value come. We set the test voltage AC 57.74 volts. Press Run button. Press Enter button. We short circuit and open the binary input. The time value and pulse value come. We set the test voltage DC 57.74 volts. Press Run button. Press Enter button. We short circuit and open the binary input. The time value and pulse value come. Next is Advanced Test. Advanced Test include two test items, reclosing test and motor overload test. First, let's do reclosing test. Number, there we can set 6 times at most. Here we set number 1. The fault can be selected ACI1 current output from 50 amperes to 1000 amperes, ACI1 current output from 2 amperes to 50 amperes. Here we select ACI1 current output from 2 amperes to 50 amperes. We set the fault current is 2 amperes. We short circuit the binary input A, which means trip contact comes. Then short circuit the binary input B, which means reclose contact comes. There is the pickup time and reclosing time. Next is motor overload test interface. In this interface, we can set offset value, and output current 1000 ampere for 120 seconds. Fifth, CT test introduction. Here we test this current transformer in the circuit. The ratio of the secondary output terminal of K1 and K2 is 2000 to 1. Connect K1 and K2 to the input ports of ammeter. Press Run button. The ratio value comes. Sixth, timer introduction. There are two test items. One is recording time from start input A to stop input A. The other one is recording from start input A to stop input B. Press Run button. We short circuit binary input A, then open binary input A. Here shows the time. We test the recording time from start input A to stop input B. We short circuit binary input A, and short circuit binary input B. Here shows the time. 7th, report view introduction. The file name is the date and time. Let's open a record. Here shows the pickup value, drop-off value and ratio. 8th, PC control introduction. We connect the wire from T1000 to PC. Press PC control to computer interface. We open the software, T-Relay Test Set Report Control, device type, select T1000, report format, Word format report and text format report. Click Get Report, then it open the report in Word format automatically. This is the report in Word format. This is the report in TXT format. Now T1000 primary injection test set introduction finished. If you have any question, please feel free to contact with us.